Hello everyone, good morning to all. I am Ankita Bhagat, your science teacher from Sajanand English Medium School at Nathej. So students, after completion of chapter, now we will discuss about the exercise question answer, right? So let us discuss. So see the question our first is say state similarities and difference between laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer. So first we will discuss about similarity. Now what are the similarity? Both of them. So both are made up of glass and consist a long narrow glass tube. So both are consist a long narrow unique glass tube, right? And the one end both of them have a bulb. So suppose here the unique glass tube and both of them the bulb at the one end. Now bulb of both of thermometer consist mercury. So in both of thermometer mercury is there. So you know very well the mercury is the metallic material, right? Now next we have that is Celsius scale is present in both thermometer. Celsius scale present in both thermometer. So these are the similarity of laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer. Now let us discuss difference. So first difference is the temperature range in clinical thermometer is 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Again I repeat, the temperature range in clinical thermometer is 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Now the temperature range is -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius in laboratory thermometer. Why? Because it is used in laboratory, and in laboratory there are so many chemical reactions takes place. That's why the range between lower to higher, that is -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Got it? Now the second point, the second difference is it is used, clinical thermometer is used to measure only the human body temperature. Again I repeat, the clinical thermometer is used to measure the human body temperature, where laboratory thermometer is used to measure the temperature in laboratory. Just I told you it is used in laboratory, and in the laboratory there are so many chemical reactions takes place, right? So it is used to measure the temperature in laboratory. Now the last difference we have, that is it has the kink. So in clinical thermometer the kink is present, the shape of the kink just like that, and in laboratory thermometer the kink is not present. So it does not have a kink. Now what is the work of kink? So kink prevent the immediate backflow of mercury, right? So these are the difference between clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer, right? Now the second question, give two example of each conductors and insulator of heat. Here the question given, give two examples of each of conductors and insulator of heat. So the example of conductor is iron, copper, aluminum. So these are the conductors, whereas the insulator is plastic and wood. So these are the example of conductors and insulators. If you ask the definition for conductor or insulator, now what are the definition of conductors and insulator? So the definition of the conductors is the materials which allows the heat to transfer to them is called conductors. And the definition of insulator is the materials which does not allow the heat transfer to them, it's called insulator. So these are the definition of conductors and insulator. Now the question number 3 is blanks. Here the first question in that, the hotness of an object is determined by its, you know very well, the hotness or coldness of an object is determined by its temperature, and the temperature is measured with the instrument is called thermometer, right? So again I repeat, the hotness of an object is determined by its temperature. Here the answer given temperature. Now the question, and now the second one, the temperature of boiling water cannot be measured by which thermometer? The temperature of boiling water cannot be measured by clinical thermometer. So I already told you the clinical thermometer is only used to measure the human body temperature. It is not used to measure the other objects, right? So here temperature of boiling water cannot measure by clinical thermometer. Here use the laboratory thermometer to measure the boiling water, right? But in question what given? Cannot be measured. So through the clinical thermometer we cannot be measure the boiling water temperature, right? So the answer is clinical thermometer. Now the question number 3 in that, temperature is measured in degree Celsius. Now temperature is measured in degree Celsius, and what are the SI unit of the temperature? That is Kelvin, right? Now the next question, no medium is required for the transfer of heat by the process of. So there are the 3 methods, you know very well. Which one? There are the 3 methods of transfer of heat: conduction, convection and radiation. So in solid generally use the conduction method. In solid heat transfer through the conduction method, where in liquid and gaseous the heat transfer through the convection method. But in radiation method, in third method, the radiation method, there are no any medium is required to transfer heat, right? So here answer is radiation, that is answer is radiation. Got it? Now the next question, a cold steel spoon. Listen carefully. A cold steel spoon is dipped in the cup of a hot milk. The spoon is called, see here, suppose here the cup, here the cold spoon, the spoon is called, and dipped in the hot cup of milk. Here the hot cup of milk, not but yes, hot cup of milk. So heat is transferred to its other end by the process of which method? The spoon is cold, whereas the milk is hot. So when we dip the spoon in the cup, the heat transfer by the which method? Just I told you, the heat transfer through the conduction method, because the milk and the spoon both are in the direct contact, and generally in solid state heat transfer through the conduction method. And what is the definition of conduction? So heat transfer from hotter end to colder end. Heat transfer from hotter object to colder object. So here cup of tea, cup of milk is hot, whereas the spoon is cold. So the heat transfer to hotter end to colder end. This is the conduction. So here the process of conduction is used. Here the method of conduction is used. Got it? Now the next we have, that is last one, the clothes of days colored absorb more heat better than the clothes of light colors. So I already explained you in chapter that the clothes of dark color, for an example, black color is a dark color, so the clothes of dark color absorb more heat better than the clothes of light color heats. So that's why we wear the dark color in winter and the light color in summer. That's why we comfortable. If we wear the light color in summer, we comfortable, we feel very comfortable, right? Now the next question is match the following. Here, land breeze blows during which time, daytime or night time? So you know very well, during the night the land breeze is occur, right? So the land breeze blows during night time, so the answer is here night. Now the sea breeze blows during which time? That blows during daytime. Here again, dark color clothes are preferred during in which season? It is in winter season, because dark color absorb more heat and it is suitable for winter, right? And the light color clothes are preferred during in summer season, because they absorb less heat as compared to dark color clothes, right? Dark objects. So that's why we feel comfortable in light color clothes in summer. Got it? Now the fifth question is discuss why wearing more layer of clothing during winter keep us warmer than wearing just one thick piece of clothing. Again I repeat, discuss why wearing the more layer of clothing during winter keep us warmer than wearing a just one thick piece of clothing. Now let us discuss answer. So more layer of clothing during winter keeps us warmer than wearing a just one thick piece of clothing. But obvious, if you wear the more layer of clothes, they are the warmer than the one thick piece, right? Again I repeat, the more layer of clothing during winter keeps us warm than the wearing just one thick piece of clothing, because air gets trapped in between the layers. Air is bad conductor of heat and it does not allow to escape of the heat from the body. So that's why we wear the more layer of clothing in winter, right? Now the question number 6 is, look at the figure. Here the figure is given to you. Look at the figure and mark where the heat is being transferred by the conduction, by convection and the radiation. So here one figure is given to you and you have to mark from where the three methods, that is conduction, convection and radiation, is used. Let us discuss. So see here, what is the first we discuss about conduction method. What is the definition of conduction? So the definition of conduction is the heat transfer from hotter end to colder end. Just I told you in blanks. So heat transfer from hotter end to colder end. So where is the hotter end? Here the flame is hot and here the container, if we put, then the container is cold now, right? So the flame and the container both are in the direct contact, so heat transfer through directly here through the conduction method. So here which method is used? Here conduction method is used. Again I repeat, here the flame and the container both are in direct contact. And what is the definition of conduction? the heat transfer from hotter end to colder end. So that's why here which method is used? So here use conduction method. Got it? Here use the conduction method. Right? Now the water become hot from which method? The water become hot from the convection method. Right? You already learned in chapter in activity 4.8 the experiment of potassium permanganate, right? So the water become hot through the convection process. Now let us see what is the convection process. Here heat transfer to the container and the bottom of the water is become hot first and it rises up. It rises up and the cold water moves downward direction towards the heat, and after that again this cold water become hot and again the hot water rises up and again the cold water moves down towards the heat to become hot. So this process is continuous running, right? So the water become hot through the which method? Convection method. So here which method is used? Convection method. Again I repeat, here conduction, here convection, and here radiation method. Why? Because the hot object radiate the heat, so that's why we feel warm here. So here which method is used? Here the radiation method is used because the Bunsen burner flame is hot and always the hot object radiates the heat, right? So here that's why we feel here warm, right? So here radiation method is used. So answer is given in this figure. Draw properly, mark properly, right? Now question number 7. In place of hot climate, it is advisable that outer walls of houses be painted white. Explain. Again I repeat question. In place of hot climate, it is advisable that the outer wall of houses be painted white. Why? You know very well the dark color or dark object, there are the absorb more heat, right? But the light color absorb less heat or it reflects the heat. So that's why we feel cool. So that's why we advise that always painted the house, outer wall of the house white. Now let us see the answer. So in place of hot climate, it is advisable that the outer wall of house be painted white because white color reflect back the most of the heat. So white color is the light color, whereas the black color is the dark color. Again I repeat, white is the light color and the black color and red color, these all are the dark color. So the light color absorb the less heat, it means they reflects the most of the heats, and that is incident on its as white is poor absorber of heat. So that's why we can say that the white color is the poor absorber is heat and the black color is a good absorber of heat, right? So these help in keeping the house cool. So that's why in place of hot climate, it is advisable that outer wall of houses be painted white color. Got it? Now the next question, that is MCQ question, right? See, 1 liter of water at 30 degrees Celsius is mixed. So suppose you have a 1 liter of water. In that, first add 30 degrees Celsius. Water at 30 degrees Celsius is mixed with the 1 liter water at the 50 degrees Celsius. Right? So the temperature of the mixture will be, option is given to you, 80 degrees Celsius, more than 50 degrees Celsius, but less than 80 degrees Celsius. Option C is 20 degrees Celsius, and option D is between 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. So, but obvious answer is between 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, because the temperature of mixture will be between 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. Answer is between the temperature between 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, because hot water loses the heat. So the hot water is the 50 degrees Celsius as compared to 30 degree, the 50 degrees Celsius water is hot. So hot water loses the heat and simultaneously cold water gains the heat. And this keeps the temperature between 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. So that's why the answer is between 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. Got it? Now the next one is an iron bowl. Iron bowl at 40 degrees Celsius is dropped in a mug containing water 40 degrees Celsius. So the heat will be, option is given, flow from iron bowl to water. Option B is not flow from iron bowl to water or from water to iron bowl. And option C, flow from water to iron bowl. And option D is increase the temperature of both. So I already told you in chapter explanation. So if the temperature, both temperature is same, so at that time the both object do not transfer heat to each other. So here both object temperature is what? So here the both object temperature is equilibrium. Both object have a 40 degree Celsius temperature. So that's why both object do not transfer heat to each other, because the temperature is equilibrium, temperature is same 40 degrees Celsius. So the answer is what? Not flow from iron bowl to water or from water to iron bowl. Right? So the answer is B, not flow from iron bowl to water or from water to iron bowl. Yes. Now the next we have a wooden spoon is dipped in a cup of ice cream. Its other end, suppose here cup of ice cream, and the wooden spoon, here the spoon made up of wood, and the wooden spoon dipped in the cup of ice cream, its other end, option is given, become cold by the process of conduction, become cold by the process of convection, become cold by the process of radiation, and does not become cold. But obvious, does not become cold because the wood is the bad conductor of heat. So here the answer is D, does not become cold. Now the last question from this chapter is, stainless steel pans are usually provided with the copper bottom, and the reason for this could be that, now what are the reason? The stainless steel pan has usually provided the copper bottom. I think you observe it in your kitchen. The stainless steel container has, the bottom is mostly copper bottom. Why? Option is given to you. Option A, copper bottom makes the pan more durable. Such pans appear colorful. Option C, copper is better conductor of heat than stainless steel, and option D, copper is easier to clean than the stainless steel. So you know very well the copper is the good conductor of heat and electricity. So here the copper is the good conductor of heat as compared to stainless steel. So that's why the outer layer that's why the bottom is made up of copper. So the which option is right? The copper is better conductor of heat than the stainless steel. That's why the bottom is made up with the copper, right? So students, all questions write in your notebook. Now next video we will upload in next session with the new chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day.